Have you ever had that moment when you look at someone across the dinner table and realize that person might be trying to kill you? Not metaphorically, like destroying your self-esteem with passive-aggressive comments. No, I'm talking about real poison, the kind that stops your heart and makes everyone think you died of natural causes. Well, I had that moment, and it was on Thanksgiving. My name is Elena Choi, and I live in Koreatown, Los Angeles with my husband Daniel and our 7-year-old daughter Sophie. And before you ask, yes, my life looked perfect. Beautiful house on a tree-lined street, successful husband working in tech, adorable daughter learning piano. The dream life, right? Wrong. Because 3 days before Thanksgiving this year, I found something that changed everything. I was cleaning the kitchen when I knocked over a box of Korean ginger tea that my sister-in-law Claire had brought over last week. The box fell to the floor and something rolled out. It wasn't tea. It was a small vial, about the size of my thumb, with clear liquid inside. No label, nothing. My heart started pounding faster. Why would Claire hide something inside a tea box? I grabbed my phone and took a picture of the vial. Then I put everything back exactly as it was. My hands were shaking. You see, Claire had always been strange with me. From the day I met Daniel 7 years ago, she treated me like I was an intruder. The first time I had dinner at his family's house, she barely looked at me. When Daniel and I got engaged, she didn't come to our engagement dinner. Said she was sick, but I saw her posting pictures at a restaurant that same night. Daniel always defended his sister. She's just shy, he'd say. She'll warm up to you. But 7 years later, Claire still looked at me like I'd stolen something precious from her. And maybe I had. Not Daniel, obviously, but something more valuable. The inheritance. Daniel's mother, Vivian Choi, died from cancer 2 years ago. It was devastating for the whole family, but what came after was even worse. The will. Vivian left the family house in Pasadena, valued at $3 million, to Daniel. Not to Claire. Only to Daniel. Claire was furious. She screamed at Daniel in the lawyer's office, saying he'd manipulated their mother, that he was always the favorite, and that she deserved half of everything. Daniel tried to calm her down, offered to split the value of the house, but Claire didn't want money. She wanted the house where she grew up, where all her memories with her mother were. But the house was already ours. Daniel and I sold it 6 months later. We needed the money to pay for his mother's medical bills and invest in Daniel's new business. Claire didn't speak to us for a whole year after that. Then, suddenly, 3 months ago, she came back. She showed up at our door with tears in her eyes, apologizing. Said she'd been in therapy, that she realized she'd been unfair, that she wanted to rebuild her relationship with her brother. Daniel was so happy. He hugged his sister and cried. I didn't cry. Something inside me didn't believe her. But I said nothing, because I'm the wife, the outsider, the Korean American who doesn't even speak Korean as well as she should. Who am I to question a sister's feelings for her brother? But now, holding that vial, I knew. My instinct was right. Claire was planning something, and it involved poison. I put the vial back in the tea box, my hands still trembling. I needed to think. I couldn't confront Daniel without proof. He'd never believe his sister was capable of something like this. I needed more information. So I did what any desperate person would do. I Googled clear, odorless liquid poison. The results made my blood run cold. Ricin, arsenic in solution, various types of toxins that could kill someone and look like a heart attack or sudden allergic reaction. My phone buzzed. It was a message from Claire. Can't wait for Thanksgiving on Thursday. I'm bringing the turkey. Already bought a 25-pounder. It's going to be the best family dinner ever. She was bringing the turkey. Of course she was. I sat down on the kitchen floor, my mind racing. Think, Elena, think. If Claire was planning to poison someone at Thanksgiving dinner, who was the target? Me? Obviously, right? She hated me. She blamed me for the house being sold. It made perfect sense. But what if I was wrong? What if the target was Daniel? What if Claire was so twisted by anger that she'd rather see her brother dead than happy with me? Or what if she was planning to poison everyone and make it look like food poisoning? I needed to tell someone. But who? Daniel would never believe me without concrete proof. My parents lived in San Francisco, and calling them would just make them worry. My best friend Jessica was spending Thanksgiving in Hawaii with her boyfriend. Then I remembered something. Claire's ex-boyfriend, Marcus. They dated for 3 years before breaking up last summer. Daniel had mentioned that Marcus left Claire because she was too intense and had anger issues. Maybe Marcus knew something. Maybe he could confirm my suspicions. I found Marcus on Instagram. His profile was public. I sent him a direct message. "Hi Marcus, this is Elena, Daniel's wife. I know this is random, but I need to talk to you about Claire. It's urgent. Can we meet for coffee tomorrow?" He responded within an hour. "Is she okay? Is something wrong?" "Can we just meet? Tomorrow morning, there's a Starbucks on Western and 6th. "Okay, 10 a.m. Perfect." I deleted the messages immediately. I don't know why I felt like I needed to hide them, but I did. That night at dinner, I watched Claire carefully as she sat across from me, Sophie between us, coloring in her Thanksgiving turkey coloring book. "Isn't it nice that Claire's spending so much time with us?" Daniel said, smiling at his sister. Claire smiled back, but when she looked at me, her eyes were cold, empty, like she was looking through me instead of at me. "It's wonderful," I said, forcing a smile. "We're so lucky." Sophie looked up from her coloring. "Auntie Claire, are you making your special cranberry sauce for Thanksgiving?" "Of course, sweetheart," Claire said, her voice suddenly warm. "And I'm making your favorite sweet potato casserole, too." My stomach turned. How many dishes was she planning to poison? Or was it just the turkey? I couldn't eat anything she made. But how could I explain that without sounding paranoid and crazy? After dinner, Claire stayed to help clean up. Daniel took Sophie upstairs for bath time, leaving Claire and me alone in the kitchen. She handed me a plate to dry, and our hands touched for a second. Her skin was ice cold. "You know, Claire, I'm really glad Daniel married you." I nearly dropped the plate. "What?" "I mean it," she continued, not looking at me. "I was wrong to be so cold to you all these years. You make Daniel happy. That's all that matters." "Claire, And Sophie is such a beautiful child. You and Daniel are such good parents." She finally looked at me, and I couldn't read her expression. "Family is everything, don't you think?" "Yes," I managed to say. "Family is everything." She smiled. It didn't reach her eyes. "I'm so glad we agree." That night, I couldn't sleep. I lay next to Daniel, listening to him breathe, wondering if I should just tell him everything. But every time I started to form the words in my mind, they sounded insane. "Your sister is planning to poison us because we sold your mother's house. Would he even take me seriously?" At 3 a.m., I got up and went downstairs. I needed to look at that vial again. I needed to be sure I hadn't imagined it. But when I opened the cabinet where we kept the tea, the box was gone. Completely gone. My heart stopped. Had Claire taken it back? Did she know I'd found it? I searched the entire kitchen, trying to be quiet, but the box was nowhere. I checked the trash, the recycling, everywhere. Nothing. I went back to bed shaking. Daniel rolled over and pulled me close. "You okay?" he mumbled sleepily. "Yeah, just couldn't sleep." "Thanksgiving nerves?" He kissed my forehead. "Don't worry, it's going to be perfect. Claire's really making an effort. I'm so happy we're all together again." I closed my eyes and pretended to sleep. The next morning, I met Marcus at Starbucks. He looked different from his Instagram photos. Thinner, tired, dark circles under his eyes. He ordered a black coffee and sat across from me in the corner booth. "Thanks for meeting me," I said. "What's this about?" Marcus asked, his voice wary. "Is Claire harassing you or something?" "What? No, why would you think that?" He laughed, but it was bitter. "Because that's what she does. When she's mad at someone, she doesn't let it go. Ever." "Tell me about your relationship with her. Daniel said you broke up because she was intense?" Marcus looked at his coffee for a long moment. "That's putting it mildly. Elena, Claire is..." He paused, choosing his words. "She's not a normal person. I don't mean that in a judgmental way. I mean it clinically. She has issues. Deep issues." "What kind of issues?" "Control issues? Abandonment issues? Rage issues?"
He leaned forward. About 6 months before we broke up, Claire found out she couldn't have children. Some medical condition, I don't remember the details. It destroyed her. She became obsessed with the idea that everyone was leaving her, abandoning her. She started accusing me of cheating, even though I never did. She'd show up at my work unannounced to check on me. She'd go through my phone while I was sleeping.
My hands were cold. That's intense. It got worse after her mother died, Marcus continued. Vivian was the only person who could calm Claire down when she got into one of her moods. After the funeral, Claire completely fell apart. And then when Daniel got the house, he shook his head. She called me screaming at 2 a.m., said Daniel had stolen everything from her, said he'd turned their mother against her, said she'd make him pay for it. Make him pay how? Marcus looked at me. She said, and I quote, "I'll take everything from him just like he took everything from me." I thought she just meant legally, like she'd sue him or something. But the way she said it, he shuddered. I broke up with her the next week. I couldn't deal with it anymore. Has she contacted you since then? Once, about a month ago. She called me crying, saying she'd made a mistake, asking if we could get back together. I said no. She didn't take it well. He paused. Why are you asking me all this? I took a deep breath. I think Claire is planning to do something at Thanksgiving. Something bad. Like what? I found a vial of clear liquid hidden in a tea box she gave us. No label, and now it's gone. She's bringing the turkey for dinner, and... Oh my God, Marcus interrupted, his face going pale. Elena, you need to cancel that dinner right now. What? Why? Because Claire told me something once when we were fighting. She said she'd researched the perfect way to kill someone and make it look natural. She was obsessed with true crime shows, podcasts about unsolved murders, all that stuff. She said poison was the smartest way because it's hard to trace if you do it right. The room started spinning. Did she say what kind of poison? Something plant-based. I don't remember exactly. But Elena, listen to me. You need to take this seriously. Claire is capable of this. I know she is. I drove home in a daze. Marcus's words kept echoing in my head. Claire is capable of this. I know she is. But capable of what exactly? Poisoning me? Poisoning Daniel? Poisoning the whole family? When I got home, Claire was sitting in my living room with Sophie, helping her practice piano. They looked so normal, so innocent. Claire was patient with Sophie, showing her where to put her fingers on the keys, encouraging her when she made mistakes. "Mommy," Sophie called when she saw me, "Auntie Claire is teaching me a new song." "That's wonderful, honey," I said, my voice sounding strange to my own ears. Claire looked up at me and smiled. "I hope you don't mind that I let myself in. Daniel gave me the spare key last week so I could come help with Thanksgiving prep." She had a key to our house. She could come and go whenever she wanted. The thought made me sick. "Of course I don't mind," I lied. "You're family." "I'm so glad you feel that way," Claire said. There was something in her tone that made my skin crawl. Because family should always stick together, no matter what. That night, I made a decision. I was going to search Claire's apartment. I knew it was crazy. I knew it was probably illegal, but I needed proof. Real proof that I could show Daniel, something that would make him believe me. Claire lived in a small studio apartment in Koreatown, about 15 minutes from our house. I knew she worked late shifts as a nurse at Cedars-Sinai 3 days a week. Tuesday was one of those days. Her shift started at 3 p.m. and ended at 11 p.m. That gave me 8 hours. I told Daniel I was going to a yoga class and then meeting Jessica for dinner. He kissed me and told me to have fun. Sophie hugged me goodbye. I felt terrible lying to them, but what choice did I have? I used the spare key I'd secretly made from the one Claire had lost last month at our house. My heart was pounding so hard I thought I might pass out as I unlocked her door and stepped inside. Claire's apartment was spotless, almost unnaturally clean. Everything was organized, labeled, perfectly arranged.
The kitchen had spices in alphabetical order, the bathroom had color-coded towels. It was like a magazine spread, not a place where someone actually lived. I started in the kitchen. I opened every cabinet, checked every container, looked in the freezer, the fridge, under the sink. Nothing unusual, just normal food, normal cleaning supplies. The bedroom was next. I checked her dresser drawers, her closet, under her bed. Still nothing. I was starting to think I was wrong, that I was paranoid, that I'd broken into my sister-in-law's apartment for nothing. Then I saw the trunk. It was at the back of her closet, covered with a blanket. Old-fashioned, wooden, with a brass lock. I tried to open it, but it was locked. I searched for a key, checking every drawer again, every pocket of every coat in her closet. Finally, I found it taped under her bedside table drawer.
My hands shook as I unlocked the trunk, and what I found inside made me stop breathing. Photos. Hundreds of photos. Of Daniel and me. Our wedding day. Sophie's birth. Family dinners. Birthday parties. But in every single photo, my face had been scratched out. Just my face, black marker, violent scratches. Sometimes the photo was ripped where my face had been. There were also printed emails between Daniel and his mother, dating back years. Vivian talking about how proud she was of Daniel, how successful he was, how happy she was that he'd found me. In the margins, Claire had written notes in red pen. Why not me? I'm your daughter too. Why does he get everything? But the worst part was at the bottom of the trunk, a notebook. I opened it with trembling hands. It was a plan, a detailed, meticulous plan, not to poison me, to poison Daniel. I read page after page, my horror growing with each word. Claire blamed Daniel for everything wrong in her life, for being the favorite child, for getting the house, for being able to have a family when she couldn't. She'd written, "If I can't have a happy life, why should he? Why does he get everything when I get nothing?" The plan was sophisticated. She'd been buying small amounts of foxglove from different garden centers for months, extracting the digitalis, concentrating it. She'd researched the exact dosage that would cause cardiac arrest in a man Daniel's size. She'd practiced on animals first. The notebook contained details about neighborhood cats that had gone missing, experiments with dosages, notes on timing. The poison would be in the turkey. Not all of it, just the white meat, Daniel's favorite. The rest of the family would be fine. It would look like a sudden heart attack. At age 35, it was unusual, but not impossible. Stress, genetics, bad luck. No one would suspect. Claire planned to comfort me through my grief, to be there for Sophie, to slowly work her way into becoming the most important person in our lives. And then, months or years later, she'd tell me the truth, that she'd killed Daniel, that she'd gotten her revenge, and there would be nothing I could do about it, because there would be no evidence. I took pictures of everything with my phone. Every page of the notebook, every scratched photo, every deranged note in the margins. Then, I put everything back exactly as I found it, locked the trunk, replaced the key. I left her apartment and sat in my car for 20 minutes trying to calm down enough to drive. I'd been wrong. Claire wasn't trying to kill me. She was trying to kill my husband, the father of my child, and she was going to do it in 2 days at Thanksgiving dinner. I had to go to the police. This was beyond me now. I had evidence. I had proof. They could arrest her, stop this before it happened. But when I got to the police station, the officer at the front desk looked at me like I was crazy. "Ma'am, let me get this straight. You broke into your sister-in-law's apartment and found a notebook where she's planning to poison your husband." "Yes, I have pictures." He looked at the photos on my phone. "These are pretty serious accusations. But ma'am, there's a problem. You obtained this evidence illegally, by breaking and entering. Anything you found wouldn't be admissible in court." "But she's going to kill my husband." "Do you have any physical evidence of poison, the actual substance?"
No, she hid it. I don't know where. Has she made any direct threats to you or your husband? Not directly, but then there's nothing we can do right now. If you want to file a restraining order, we can help you with that. But without physical evidence or a direct threat, we can't arrest someone for what they wrote in a private notebook. I wanted to scream. So you're telling me I have to wait until she actually poisons him? The officer looked sympathetic. Ma'am, my advice, don't let her cook the turkey. Better yet, cancel the dinner. Keep your family safe that way. I drove home feeling hopeless. Cancel Thanksgiving? Daniel would never agree without a good reason. And what was I supposed to say? Your sister is trying to kill you because I broke into her apartment and read her murder diary? When I got home, Daniel was waiting up for me. How was dinner with Jessica? He asked. Good, I lied. Really good. Elena, is something wrong? You've been acting strange lately. This was my chance. I could tell him everything right now. But as I looked at his kind, trusting face, I couldn't do it. Couldn't destroy his relationship with his sister without being absolutely sure. Couldn't make him choose between believing me or believing Claire. I'm fine, I said, just stressed about hosting Thanksgiving. He pulled me into a hug. Don't worry so much. Claire's handling the turkey, Mom's bringing dessert, you just need to make the sides. It's going to be perfect. Our first real family Thanksgiving in years. That night I lay awake making a plan of my own. I couldn't stop Thanksgiving from happening, but I could make sure Daniel didn't eat the turkey. I'd tell him I decided we should go vegetarian for the meal, that I'd read about the health benefits. It was flimsy, but it might work. Or I could spill the turkey accidentally before dinner, knock the whole thing off the counter, blame it on clumsiness.
Or I could confront Claire directly, tell her I knew what she was planning, dare her to go through with it. I didn't know what to do. For the first time in my life, I felt completely helpless. Wednesday morning, the day before Thanksgiving, Claire showed up at our house at 7 a.m. I thought I'd come early to help prep, she said cheerfully, carrying bags of groceries. I brought everything for the turkey, special brine recipe, fresh herbs, the whole thing. I watched as she unpacked her bags in our kitchen. My kitchen, where my family ate every day. She was so calm, so normal. How could someone planning murder look so ordinary? Claire, I said carefully, why don't we order a pre-cooked turkey this year? It would be so much easier. She looked at me, and for just a second, I saw something flash in her eyes. Anger? Suspicion? But then she smiled. Oh, Elena, I already bought everything. Plus, nothing beats a homemade turkey. Trust me, Daniel's gonna love it. Daniel's going to love it. The way she said his name made my blood run cold. I spent the day watching her. She prepared the turkey with meticulous care, injecting the brine under the skin, massaging it with butter and herbs. She hummed while she worked, occasionally smiling at me like we were friends, like she wasn't planning to murder my husband in less than 24 hours. Want to try the brine? She asked, holding up a spoon. No thanks, I'm not feeling well. Suit yourself. She went back to humming. That evening, after Claire left, I tried one more time with Daniel. Honey, I really think we should cancel tomorrow, or at least postpone it. I'm not feeling great, and... Daniel, what's really going on? Daniel said, his voice firm. You've been acting paranoid and weird ever since Claire came back into our lives. Do you not want her here? Is that it? It's not that... Because if you have a problem with my sister, you need to tell me. I'm not going to let you push her out of our lives again just because you're uncomfortable. Daniel, that's not fair. Isn't it? You've never liked Claire. You've always found reasons to keep her at a distance. And now that she's finally making an effort, you want to cancel Thanksgiving. I won't do it, Elena. She's my sister. She's family. The dinner is happening tomorrow whether you like it or not. We didn't speak for the rest of the night. Thanksgiving morning arrived gray and cold. I'd barely slept. My plan was simple. Stay close to the turkey all day. Watch Claire's every move. If she tried to poison it, I'd catch her in the act. But Claire was smarter than that. She arrived at 8 a.m. with the turkey already in a roasting pan, covered with foil. I brined it overnight at my place. All we need to do is pop it in the oven for a few hours. Easy. My heart sank. The poison was already in it. She'd done it at home, where I couldn't see. I tried to think of a way to ruin the turkey before dinner, but Claire stayed in the kitchen all morning, helping me prepare side dishes. She never left me alone with it. By 2 p.m., the house was full. Daniel's father, Richard, had arrived along with his new girlfriend, Sandra. My parents had driven down from San Francisco. Sophie was running around in her Thanksgiving dress, excited about the fancy dinner. The turkey came out of the oven at 3 p.m., golden brown and perfect. Claire had outdone herself. It looked like something from a magazine. "Gorgeous," Richard said, admiring it. "Claire, you're a master chef." Claire beamed. "Just wait until you taste it. The white meat is especially tender. I used a special technique." She looked directly at Daniel. "I made it especially for you, big brother." Daniel hugged her. "You're the best, Claire. Thank you." I felt sick. We all sat down at the table. Sophie said grace, thanking God for family and food and love. Everyone smiled. It was picture perfect. A Hallmark movie moment. Except I was watching my sister-in-law about to serve poison to my husband. Claire started carving the turkey. White meat for Daniel, dark meat for everyone else. She placed a huge portion on Daniel's plate, smiling at him. "Eat up, Danny," she said, using her childhood nickname for him. "You're going to love this." Daniel picked up his fork. "Wait!" I shouted, standing up so fast my chair fell backward. Everyone stopped and stared at me. "Elena, what?" Daniel started. "Don't eat the turkey," I said. "Please, don't eat it." Claire looked at me, her face unreadable. "Why not?" "Because it's poisoned. You poisoned it. You've been planning to kill Daniel for months." The room went silent. You could have heard a pin drop. Daniel stood up slowly. "Elena, what are you talking about?" I broke into Claire's apartment. I found her notebook. She's been planning this for months. The turkey is poisoned with foxglove, with digitalis. It's going to cause cardiac arrest. She's going to kill you. "You broke into my apartment?" Claire said softly. "You went through my things? You're planning to murder my husband." "Elena, that's enough," Daniel said, his voice hard. "You've crossed a line. I have pictures. I have proof. The notebook, the photos with my face scratched out, everything." I grabbed my phone with shaking hands. But when I opened my photo gallery, my stomach dropped. The photos were gone. All of them. Deleted. What? How? I frantically searched through my phone, but they were all gone. Claire stood up slowly. She walked over to me and took my phone gently from my hands. "You mean these photos?" She held up her own phone. "The ones you took in my apartment on Tuesday? The ones I remotely deleted from your iCloud when I saw you'd been snooping?" My mouth went dry. "You see," Claire continued, her voice calm, "I have a security camera in my apartment. I saw you break in. I watched you go through my trunk, and I knew exactly what you'd found." "Then you admit it," I said desperately. "You admit you're planning to kill Daniel." "Kill Daniel? Elena, you've got this all wrong." She walked back to the table and picked up the knife. I tensed, ready to fight her if I had to, but she just cut herself a big piece of white meat and ate it, then another piece, then another. "See," she said, "not poisoned." "I don't understand," I whispered. "The notebook, the photos, the research, that was all for a novel I'm writing, a psychological thriller about a sister who plots to kill her brother.
I've been working on it for months as part of my therapy. My therapist said writing out my anger would help me process it. She looked at everyone around the table. I've been seeing Dr. Morrison at Cedars. You can call and verify. My parents were staring at me in horror. Richard looked disgusted. Sandra was whispering to him. But the cats, the experiments, I stammered. What cats? She asked, genuinely confused. Elena, I volunteer at an animal shelter. I foster cats who need temporary homes. Is that what you're talking about? Daniel was looking at me like he didn't recognize me. Elena, what have you done? The vial, I said desperately. In the tea box, I found a vial of clear liquid. You mean my contact lens solution? Claire pulled out her purse and showed everyone an identical small vial. I keep it in travel size. Must have fallen into the tea box by accident. The room was spinning. This couldn't be happening. But Claire kept producing evidence. She pulled out her phone and showed everyone the manuscript of her novel. 300 pages about a sister plotting murder, character notes, plot outlines, everything I'd seen in that notebook. I was going to tell you about it, she said to Daniel. I wanted it to be a surprise. I'm submitting it to agents next month. This is insane. You're lying. You're manipulating everyone. Elena, stop, Daniel said coldly. Just stop. You broke into Claire's home. You invaded her privacy. You've been paranoid and accusatory for weeks. And now you're ruining Thanksgiving with these insane accusations? She's trying to kill you. I'm trying to rebuild my relationship with my brother, Claire screamed back, tears streaming down her face. I made a mistake years ago, letting my anger over the inheritance drive us apart. I've been in therapy for a year trying to work through it. And you can't stand that. You can't stand that Daniel might have a relationship with me that doesn't include you. That's not true, isn't it? Claire wiped her eyes. I've always been jealous of me and Daniel's bond. You've always tried to keep us apart, and now you fabricated this whole poisoning story because you can't handle me being in his life again. Daniel, please, I turned to my husband, begging. Please believe me, I'm telling the truth. But Daniel was already shaking his head. I think you should leave. What? Leave. Take some time to cool off. Go to your parents' house. We'll talk about this later. You're kicking me out? On Thanksgiving? You broke into my sister's home. You accused her of attempted murder. What did you expect? My mother stood up. Elena, honey, maybe you should come with us. You're clearly not well. I'm not crazy, I shouted, but I could see it in all of their faces. They thought I was. They thought I'd had some kind of breakdown, that I was the one who needed help, not Claire. Sophie started crying. Mommy, why are you yelling?
I looked at my daughter, at my husband, at my parents, at Claire's satisfied smirk hidden behind fake tears, and I realized I'd lost, completely lost. I grabbed my coat and my keys and walked out of my own house. I drove aimlessly for hours, my mind numb. Maybe I was crazy. Maybe I had imagined the whole thing, read more into it than was there. Maybe Claire really was just writing a novel and I'd misinterpreted everything. But no, I knew what I'd seen. The scratched photos were too violent, too personal. The plan was too detailed, too real. Claire had been planning to kill Daniel, and somehow she'd outmaneuvered me. My phone rang. It was Marcus. I saw your Instagram story, he said. Are you okay? I hadn't even realized I'd posted anything. I checked. Through my tears, I must have accidentally shared something to my story. A blank screen with keyboard smashing. No, I said. I'm not okay. What happened? I told him everything. The Thanksgiving disaster, the deleted photos, Claire's perfect cover story, everyone thinking I was insane. Jesus, Marcus said when I finished. Elena, you need to listen to me. You're not crazy. I believe you. Claire is capable of everything you think she is. But she has evidence that it was all for a novel. Did she? Or did she just say she did? Did anyone actually verify anything? He paused. I know this sounds insane, but what if she planted all of that?
What if she knew you'd find it, knew you'd freak out, and set it up so she'd look innocent? That would be exactly her style, Marcus finished. Claire always thinks 10 steps ahead. It's what makes her dangerous. But why? If she wants to kill Daniel, why stop now? Why expose her plan? Maybe the plan changed, Marcus said slowly. Maybe you were never supposed to be collateral damage. Maybe now you're the target. My blood went cold. What do you mean? Think about it. Now you look unstable, paranoid. Everyone thinks you're having a breakdown. If something happened to you now, an accident, a suicide, who would question it? Everyone would just think the stress got to you. No, I whispered. No, she wouldn't. Wouldn't she? You're the only thing standing between her and Daniel now. With you gone, she can be there for him, help him raise Sophie, slowly become the most important person in his life. Everything she wanted. I realized I was parked at a lookout point on Mulholland Drive. The city spread out below me. No other cars around. Marcus, I'm scared. Where are you? I told him. Stay there. I'm coming to get you. Don't go anywhere alone. Don't. The line went dead. I looked at my phone. No signal. I tried to start my car, but the engine wouldn't turn over. Dead battery. But that was impossible. I'd just driven here. It had been fine. I heard footsteps on the gravel behind me. I turned around. Claire was standing there, smiling. In her hand was a syringe. How did you... I put a tracker on your car months ago. I needed to know where you went, what you did. You were always so suspicious of me. I couldn't risk you figuring things out too soon. Claire, please. You know what the funny thing is? I really was planning to kill Daniel. You were right about everything, but then I realized something. Killing him would be too easy, too quick. He'd be dead, and I'd still be angry. Then what do you want? I want him to suffer, and the best way to make him suffer is to take away everything he loves. First you, then, eventually, Sophie. And he'll never know it was me. He'll just think he's cursed, unlucky, that everyone he loves leaves him. She was close now, too close. I backed up against my car.
You're insane, I said. No, she corrected. I'm meticulous. That diary you found, I've been working on that plan for a year, but I'm flexible. Plans change. You forced my hand by breaking in, so I had to pivot. The novel story was my backup plan. I actually did write 300 pages of fiction to make it believable. That's commitment, Elena. Someone will figure it out. Marcus knows. Marcus, Claire laughed. Oh, sweetie, why do you think the phone cut out? I have access to your iCloud, remember? I remotely ended the call. And you're right, Marcus might figure it out eventually, which is why he's going to have a terrible accident on the freeway tonight. Carbon monoxide leak in his car. Very tragic. You can't. I can. I will. I've thought of everything. She held up the syringe. This is potassium chloride. It'll cause cardiac arrest. And unlike digitalis, it's almost impossible to detect in an autopsy, especially when combined with your unstable mental state. Everyone will think you killed yourself. The shame of ruining Thanksgiving, of falsely accusing me, it was all too much. I tried to run, but she was faster. She grabbed my arm with surprising strength and jabbed the syringe toward my neck. We struggled. I pushed her away and she stumbled backward. The syringe fell and rolled under my car. You bitch, Claire hissed. All pretense of sanity was gone now. Her face was twisted with rage. You should have just died quietly. She lunged at me again. We both fell to the ground, grappling. She was trying to get her hands around my throat. I kicked and scratched and fought with everything I had. And then I heard it. A car engine. Headlights swept across us. Claire immediately let go and stood up, her face transforming back to normal.
"Oh, thank God you're here. My sister-in-law, she tried to jump. I stopped her, but it wasn't a random passerby. It was Marcus, and he had his phone out, recording everything. I got it all. Every word." Claire's face went white, then red. Then she started laughing. Manic, unhinged laughter. "It doesn't matter," she said. "I'll say you doctored the video. I'll say you're both crazy. You'll do nothing," came another voice. Daniel stepped out of Marcus's car. He'd been there the whole time. He'd heard everything. "Danny," Claire whispered, "I can explain." "Don't," Daniel said, his voice breaking. "Don't say another word." The police arrived 20 minutes later. Marcus had called them before he even got there. Claire was arrested on charges of attempted murder. A search of her apartment turned up the actual foxglove extract, hidden in a false bottom of her trunk that I'd missed. They also found detailed plans for Marcus's accident and a timeline for how she planned to eventually kill Sophie and make it look like I did it before killing myself. It turned out Claire had been off her psychiatric medications for over a year, since before her mother died. She'd hidden it from everyone. And every therapy session she'd mentioned, fabricated. Dr. Morrison never heard of her. The turkey hadn't been poisoned after all. That was the truth. She'd changed her plans when she realized I was suspicious, saving the poison for a more private moment with each victim. The Thanksgiving dinner was meant to be her masterpiece, making me look insane in front of everyone, so that when I committed suicide later, no one would question it. Daniel filed for divorce 3 days after Thanksgiving. Not from Claire, obviously. She was in jail. From me. "I should have believed you," he said, tears streaming down his face. "You tried to tell me, and I didn't listen. I chose her over you. I can never forgive myself for that." "Daniel, it's not..." "Yes, it is. You could have died because I didn't trust you. Sophie could have lost her mother. I don't deserve your forgiveness." "We're in marriage counseling now. It's been 3 months. Some days are better than others. Sophie asks about Aunt Claire sometimes, and we tell her she's sick, that she's getting help. Maybe someday we'll tell her the truth." Marcus and I are friends now. He sends me articles about narcissistic personality disorder and sociopaths. Education is prevention, he says. He's right. Claire's trial is next month. The DA says she'll probably get life in prison without parole. She's been deemed incompetent to stand trial twice, but the evaluations keep changing. She's good at pretending to be sane when she needs to be. I still can't eat turkey. Can't even look at one. This year for Thanksgiving, we're ordering Chinese food and staying home. Just the 3 of us. Daniel, Sophie, and me. Family dinner has never sounded so good. You know, people always say trust your gut, trust your instincts, but sometimes your instincts tell you something so crazy, so impossible, that you second-guess yourself. You think you're being paranoid, dramatic, unreasonable. But here's what I learned. If something feels wrong, it probably is. If someone's behavior doesn't add up, there's a reason. If you feel unsafe, trust that feeling. Because the scariest monsters aren't the ones hiding under your bed or in dark alleys. They're the ones sitting across from you at Thanksgiving dinner, smiling while they plan your murder. And sometimes, they're family. If you like this story, wait until you hear about what happened at Christmas dinner last year. Let's just say not all gifts come wrapped in pretty paper. Some come with a body count. But that's a story for another time. Stay safe out there. And maybe this year, skip the family dinner and order takeout. Trust me on this one.